Title: Alien Killer Stalked the Human Relentlessly until she awoke to find him healing her injuries. The planet Zyphora 9 was notorious across the Orion cluster. Its jagged cliffs, dense crimson forests, and perpetual fog made it a natural haven for predators and a nightmare for explorers. Humanity's most daring adventurers rarely stayed for long, deterred not only by the terrain but by whispers of the stalkers, alien assassins whose names alone sent shivers through interstellar travelers. Among those travelers was Dr. Alara Quinn, a xenobiologist from Earth. Tasked with cataloging Zyphora 9's flora and fauna, she had landed with a small crew, unaware of the danger lurking in the crimson mists. Alara's team had spoken of strange movements in the fog, unexplained vanishings, and shadows too large and fast to be natural predators. She dismissed most of it as superstition, until she encountered him. He appeared first as a silhouette against the blood-red canopy, moving with lethal grace, muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. His species was unknown to humanity, sleek, multi-limbed, with iridescent black scales that absorbed light, rendering him nearly invisible. His eyes glowed faintly, amber in the perpetual twilight, scanning for prey. And he had chosen Alara. The hunt began silently. For days, she noticed subtle signs, broken branches, displaced rocks, faintly glowing tracks in the mud. Every attempt to escape was anticipated. Every hiding spot compromised. Alara's survival instincts kept her moving, navigating the jagged cliffs, treacherous swamps, and towering crystalline trees of Zyphora 9. Yet, no matter how far she ran, the sense of being watched never left her. On the third day, exhaustion overtook caution. While foraging for water, she slipped near a swollen river, gashing her leg on jagged rocks. Pain seared through her, and she collapsed into the crimson foliage. Panic and adrenaline fought within her. The stalker approached, silent, deliberate, each step measured. His amber eyes locked onto hers, and she felt certain her end had come. But instead of striking, he paused. He observed her injuries, tilting his head, a strange curiosity in his gaze. Alara expected the fatal strike, but instead, the stalker extended a limb. Unlike any human arm, it ended in precise, dexterous digits capable of both strength and delicate manipulation. Tentatively, he began to apply alien salves taken from pouches of bioluminescent flora. The pain dulled almost immediately, a warmth spreading through her leg that defied explanation. You're helping me?" she stammered, disbelief fighting survival instincts. He inclined his head slowly, a soundless acknowledgement, then worked quickly, binding the wound with a combination of alien fibers and salves that glowed faintly in the fog. Alara's fear was replaced by cautious awe. Whatever his motives, he was no longer attacking. He was preserving her life. In the following days, Alara discovered that the stalker was not a mindless killer. Though still imposing and terrifying, he had intelligence, strategy, and a complex sense of observation. He allowed her to move within certain boundaries, always following, always watching, but never harming her further. As she healed, she began to notice patterns. He was not random. He studied her, learned her behaviors, and, curiously, he seemed protective against the planet's other dangers, such as venomous flora, predatory fauna, and sudden rock slides. Alara, armed with a mix of fear and fascination, began documenting him. She named him Kale, after a mythic guardian from Earth's ancient stories, though she knew the name meant nothing to him. Her notes described his physiology, his hunting strategies, and the strange ritualistic behaviors he performed at dusk, marking territories with subtle energy signatures only visible through the fog. Gradually, a fragile trust formed. Alara spoke to him aloud, even though she understood communication was limited. Kale responded with gestures, subtle mimicry, and patterns of presence. She realized he was assessing her intelligence, her problem-solving skills, and her intentions. Each day that passed, the stalker's lethal intent seemed to diminish, replaced by an enigmatic, almost protective vigilance. Weeks into the ordeal, an incident cemented their bond. A pack of Zifrin Vorith, giant predatory creatures with obsidian carapaces and serrated mandibles, ambushed her while she was collecting samples. Kale emerged from the fog, a blur of speed and strength, dispatching the Vorith with precise, calculated movements. He spared the smallest, treating her like a fragile component in the ecosystem of survival. She witnessed the full extent of his capability, not just as a hunter, but as a protector. Night after night, while resting in the fog-laden cliffs, Alara began to notice a pattern of care. Kale left trails of edible flora, ensured water sources were safe, and even adjusted his hunting paths to allow her unimpeded movement. Though silent and enigmatic, his actions spoke volumes. She was no longer prey. She was under his guardianship. It was during one particularly harsh storm that Alara realized just how far Kale's intentions extended. She had been caught in a landslide while navigating a narrow cliffside path. Rocks crushed her side and left her unconscious. When she awoke, she was in a sheltered alcove, her wounds cleaned and bound, the alien salve working its mysterious magic. Kale stood nearby, amber eyes scanning the storm outside. His presence was a fortress. "Why are you helping me?" she whispered, knowing he could perceive the question telepathically in subtle ways, though understanding might be limited. He stepped closer, lowering his head, and touched her shoulder lightly with a scaled limb, a gesture of reassurance, not threat. In that instant, fear melted into comprehension. Kale was not her enemy. He had never been her enemy. His initial hunting behavior had been ritual, instinct, and evaluation. Now, he had chosen a different path, protection. Over the next months, the duo survived countless perils of Zyphora 9. Alara documented flora and fauna, recording every discovery, while Kale adapted to a new role as guardian and companion. Their unspoken partnership became a delicate balance of trust, respect, and mutual understanding. One day, while navigating the upper forests, they discovered a Zifrin relic, a massive crystalline obelisk inscribed with symbols that glowed faintly with bioluminescent light. Alara recognized it as an ancient communication device, capable of transmitting across vast interstellar distances. With Kale's help, she activated it, sending a signal to her ship and requesting evacuation. When her team finally arrived, they were astounded to see her alive, uninjured beyond minor scars, and accompanied by the legendary stalker of Zyphora 9. Kale, though cautious, allowed them to approach, observing with calculated vigilance. The crew was wary, but Alara insisted on introducing him. "Kale saved me," she explained. "He didn't kill me. He's protected me. He's intelligent, sentient, and capable of compassion, despite what legends say." The crew exchanged nervous glances, but gradually accepted the alien as part of her survival story. For the first time in recorded history, a human and a Zifrin stalker had formed a partnership that transcended predator and prey, hunter and hunted. Before leaving Zyphora 9, Alara made one final recording, a detailed account of Kale's physiology, behaviors, and the events that led from relentless hunting to protective